The episode opens up with Spider-Man telling Aunt May Oldass that a potential alien invasion is about to take place. He hands her a device, claiming that it will be her best defense against the aliens. Before he can tell her how the device will work, he receives a call from Ironheart, who informs him that an alien ship is heading towards Earth. He tells her to contact all the superheroes she can get in touch with, since they could use as much help as possible. She reveals that she has been unable to reach out to any superheroes. After telling her to keep trying, Spider-Man rushes back to the Avengers Towers, where he asks the team in the lab if the Stark counter-invasion defense system is up yet. He is told that Ghost Spider, Spider-Girl, and Hobgoblin are getting remote transceivers online, but Ironheart claims that she hasn't been able to arm the system because they are having a hard time decoding it. She also tells him that she has been unable to reach the Avengers, who are on a different mission in space. Spider-Man tells them that they might only get one shot at containing the symbiotes, but Doctor Strange interrupts him and claims that he has found an uninhibited planet where they can send the symbiotes. Just then, a loud beeping from the security system alerts them that a jet is headed their way. All of the superheroes head outside, prepared to fight. However, when they notice the Avenjet landing at the tower, they realize that the Avengers are back. The jet's doors open up and Iron Man steps out, but before everyone can relax, he transforms into a symbiote. Knowing that the symbiotes can absorb all of their host's powers, the superheroes prepare for a difficult battle. When the rest of the Avengers join Iron Man, they launch an attack. When Ironheart gets caught by one of the symbiotes, she transfers the decrypted codes for the Stark counter-invasion defense system to Spider-Man, who immediately activates it. To everyone's surprise, the only thing that the defense system does is trap the ugly-ass symbiotes in cages. However, this does not do anything to hold them back, as the symbiote that had taken over Iron Man uses his armor to self-destruct the system. As things begin to quickly go to shit, one by one, all of the superheroes are taken over by the symbiotes, except for Spider-Man, Ironheart, and Doctor Strange. When Doctor Strange opens up a portal to send the ugly-ass aliens to another planet, he gets knocked back into his own portal and disappears. This leaves Spider-Man and Ironheart alone to deal with the invasion. Ironheart knew that they could not fight the aliens alone, which is why she creates a distraction that allows both of them to escape. Things don't get any better as they find that another spaceship filled with hundreds of life forms is on its way to Earth. At the same time, the symbiotes enter the Avengers Tower, where they use Iron Man's eye scan to let them into his systems. This gives them locations of all the superheroes so that they can prepare for the culling. Meanwhile, Spider-Man tells Ironheart that they can still use Doctor Strange's plan of sending the aliens to another planet. He claims that they can use Cloak and Dagger to do it, since Cloak can travel through a pocket dimension, which will be the perfect place to send the aliens. The two of them head to East Village, which is the last known location of Cloak and Dagger. On their way there, they hear an emergency distress signal go off and realize that the symbiote Iron Man has sent out a distress call so that once all of the superheroes are gathered in one place, he can take them down. Knowing that they are running out of time, they rush to find Cloak and Dagger. By the time they get there, they notice that they are too late, as Cloak has already been taken over by the symbiotes. Once they find Dagger, Ironheart leads them into an auditorium where they try to come up with a plan. However, their plans are destroyed once again as symbiote Captain America and Cloak find them and begin attacking. When Dagger gets cornered by the symbiote Cloak, she gives in and is taken over by the aliens as well. This forces Ironheart and Spider-Man to find an escape again. Ironheart tells him that they only have a few hours before the ship full of aliens will land on Earth, claiming that the symbiotes on Earth will have to report back to let them know that it is clear for landing. As soon as he hears this, Spider-Man realizes that the symbiotes are using a device called the Seed to communicate with each other. He then calls his friend Grady and asks him to find the seed for them. He reports back and tells them that he has discovered a rock that looks like it is going to explode. Spider-Man tells him that he is going to meet with him at the Horizon Research Facility and instructs him to not touch the seed before he arrives. Ironheart tells Spider-Man that they need to split up so that she can lead the symbiotes away and buy him enough time to destroy the seed. As soon as they split up, Ironheart finds herself surrounded by the symbiote superheroes and tries her best to fight them, but as expected, she does not stand a chance against them and gets taken over by the symbiotes as well. Meanwhile, Spider-Man, who had arrived at the research facility, tries to hype himself up by assuring himself that he can save the rest of the superheroes. But before he can enter the lab, the symbiote superheroes catch up to him and begin attacking him. Just when he thinks of giving up, Spidey jumps in and saves him from getting taken over by the symbiotes. He is followed by the Spider team, including Ghost Spider, Spider-Girl, and Hobgoblin. While they deal with the symbiotes, Spider-Man rushes inside, only to find that Grady is already at work and setting up equipment. Spider-Man realizes that he is trying to match frequencies with the seed to cancel out its signal. However, Grady informs him that they don't have anything to amplify their blockers to match the seed's frequency. This is when Spider-Man suggests that they can use the arc reactor. He fires up the arc reactor just as Symbiote Iron Man breaks into the facility and knocks Grady out. Once again, left to deal with things on his own, Spider-Man decides to hook one of the arc reactor's wires directly into the seed, causing it to burst. This sends the symbiote spaceship the signal to return to base. When the ship turns around, he pushes the wire onto Symbiote Iron Man. With Iron Man almost free from the symbiote's control, Spider-Man contacts his team and tells them that the arc reactor is strong enough to destroy the symbiotes. However, their relief does not last for long as a portal opens up, and a symbiote Doctor Strange appears in front of them. He uses his magic to turn the arc reactor off and takes over the entire Spider team. He then orders them to attack Spider-Man, who manages to escape despite being outnumbered. At the same time, symbiote Doctor Strange uses his magic to piece together the seed and sends out the correct signal back to the symbiote ship, causing it to change its course and head for Earth once again. On the other hand, the Spider team catches up with Spider-Man and attacks him again. This time he gets hit and plunges into the river below. He somehow manages to survive and climbs on top of a bridge. He notices that the symbiote ship has arrived, and as it explodes, the aliens spread everywhere and begin infecting anyone who is close to them. Reality begins to set in for Spider-Man, who realizes that it was up to him to stop the invasion, and he failed. Even though everything has gone to shit, he refuses to give up and decides to check up on Aunt May before he can come up with another plan. Sometime later, he arrives at his house only to find that it is empty and Aunt May is missing. Suddenly, another portal opens up and the symbiote Doctor Strange walks out of it. He tells Spider-Man that since Iron Man knew everything about him, he knew that he would make his way home first. Spider-Man asks the symbiote why they are targeting Earth, and the alien reveals that they are getting their revenge since Spider-Man had killed Venom. As the symbiote Doctor Strange summons more aliens to surround him, Spider-Man rushes out of his house, once again trying to escape. No matter what he does, the symbiote uses magic to overpower him. Just when Spider-Man thinks he is done for, a stranger drives up to him in his Jeep and begins shooting down the symbiotes. He grabs Spider-Man and rushes down the street with him before activating a smoke bomb. This gives them the chance to escape through the underground channels. He claims that he knows the underground tunnels better than anyone, which is why they will be safe for a while. He then introduces himself as Mark Spector as he starts walking down the tunnels. When Spider-Man asks him where they are going, he reveals that they are heading towards his safe house. Spider-Man claims that they are going to come up with a plan to save Earth in the safe house, but Mark shuts him down and tells him that they are not going to save Earth because it is beyond saving, claiming that his plan is to stay in his safe house until the aliens decide to leave. He also confesses that the only reason he helps Spider-Man is because he wants to raid one of the Stark Industries warehouses for supplies since he needs enough food to last him for a few years. When he asks Spider-Man for the encryption codes, Spider-Man refuses to give them to him, claiming that he does not want to steal from Tony Stark. Just then, his cell phone starts ringing. Spider-Man picks up the call and finds that it is Max Modell calling him. Through the static, Max tells him to meet him at his house because he has found a way to end the alien invasion. Knowing that he needs to find Max, Spider-Man tells Mark that he will give him the codes if he helps him navigate the tunnels and find a way out. Mark agrees and takes him to another room where he loads up on weapons. Spider-Man notices Moon Knight's costume and realizes that Mark is Moon Knight, but as soon as he brings it up, Mark loses his cool and tells him that Moon Knight is only a myth. Before Spider-Man can respond, they hear a loud creaking, only to discover that it is rats that have been taken over by the aliens as well. Mark blocks the entrance that holds the rat back, but this gives the two of them enough time to leave the tunnels and reach Max's house. When Spider-Man notices a strange-looking weapon in Mark's hands, he asks him about it. Mark reveals that it is called the Ankh, and it belonged to Moon Knight, who was once a superhero. Spider-Man then asks him why he has kept Moon Knight's weapons, but Mark refuses to answer any more of his questions. Not long after that, the two of them enter Max's house, alert and on guard. To their surprise, they find that Max has not been infected. Once they introduce each other, Max tells them that he has been working on finding a cure for infected humans. As he takes them to his basement, he shows them a jar where he has been keeping Groot. He reveals that he has discovered antibodies in Groot that have prevented the symbiote's venom from spreading as quickly as it has with humans. Spider-Man quickly catches on and realizes that Max is suggesting that they can make an anti-venom serum that will return the symbiote hosts to normal. However, to do this, they will have to head to the Space Administration's main lab, since they had developed specialized equipment while they were working with the original Venom. When Spider-Man asks Mark if he will lead them through the tunnels since it is dangerous to go outside, he refuses, claiming that they had a deal, and since he held up his end of the bargain, Spider-Man needs to give him the encryption codes. When the young superhero asks him what happened to Moon Knight, he reveals that he failed to protect someone important to him, which is why he decided that he did not want to be a superhero anymore. Despite Spider-Man asking him to stay, Mark decides to leave, leaving Max and Spider-Man with no choice but to take the risky way out. Sometime later, Mark steals the supplies and makes his way back when he finds himself surrounded by symbiotes. Before they can change him, Aunt May along with a couple of other humans arrive and manage to rescue him. She reveals that her nephew had given her a weapon that kept her safe. Once they are a safe distance from the symbiotes, she tells him that when she lost her husband, she began to lose all hope, until she realized that he would want her to be happy and strong. On the other end, Spider-Man and Max reach the Space Administration lab only to find that it has been destroyed. To make matters worse, the symbiote superheroes arrive at that moment as well and begin attacking them. This is when Moon Knight saves the day by swooping in and attacking the symbiotes. At the same time, Aunt May and the other humans arrive at the facility as well. When Max notices her using the sonic gun, he claims that this tech belongs to the Space Administration, and it is exactly what they need to turn everyone back. While Aunt May and Moon Knight keep the symbiotes busy, both Max and Spider-Man work on fixing the sonic gun's frequency before firing it at Groot. Groot turns white and claims that he is anti-Venom before releasing seeds that attach to all of the symbiotes, causing them to leave their hosts. Once everyone returns back to normal, Spider-Man receives some well-deserved praises. Unbeknownst to them, the danger is still lurking as the symbiote seed is discovered by someone in the Avengers Tower. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos, and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.